Final update. My wife told our neighbor I married down. Everyone knows it but him. When I confronted her, she just smirked. Well, it's not a lie. I smiled back, then froze, the cards transferred, the lease and blocked her number. She was gone by sunset. How am I supposed to pay for things? With your own money. You have a job and your own bank account. But what about groceries and gas and everything else? What about them? You're an adult with an income. I can't afford to maintain the same lifestyle on just my salary. Then adjust your lifestyle. This is vindictive. This is practical. We're separated. You need to support yourself. Dan, please, let's work this out. We can work it out when you decide if you want to be married to someone you think you're too good for. 3 weeks later, reality sets in. Claire tried calling several times over the next few weeks. I answered occasionally to discuss practical matters like mail forwarding and her remaining belongings. Her sister called me after week 2. Dan, Claire is really struggling. She can't afford an apartment on her salary, and she's too proud to move back in with our parents. That's unfortunate. She realizes she made a mistake. Can't you give her another chance? The mistake wasn't what she said to Janet. The mistake was thinking I wouldn't find out how she really feels about me. She was just being dramatic. You know how Claire gets sometimes. I know exactly how Claire gets. That's the problem. She loves you. She loves what I represented, security, stability, someone to manage while she focused on finding people worthy of her education. That's not fair. Neither is being married to someone who's embarrassed by you. Week 3, Claire showed at my job site. Dan, we need to talk. I'm working, Claire. This is important. So is my job. Please, just 5 minutes. I told my crew to take a break and walked over to her car. What do you want? I want to come home. I've learned my lesson about taking you for granted. What lesson is that? That I was wrong to focus on our differences instead of appreciating what we had together. And what did we have together? A good life, a partnership, love. We had a life where you pretended to respect me while secretly thinking you married down. I don't think that anymore. You think it less now that you're living on your own income? That's not why. Claire, the only thing that's changed is your financial situation. You didn't suddenly realize you respect me, you realized you can't afford to leave me. That's not true. When you were living in my house, spending money from my accounts, you told Janet, you sometimes wonder what you were thinking when you married me. Now that you're paying your own rent, suddenly you remember what you were thinking. She didn't have an answer for that. I miss our life together. You miss the comfortable life I provided while you figured out if you could do better. I don't want to do better. I want you. You want what I provide. There's still a difference. I walked back to the job site. She sat in her car for another 10 minutes before leaving. 2 months later, the final decision. The separation became permanent. Claire signed the divorce papers after her lawyer explained that fighting would be expensive and unlikely to change the outcome significantly. She found a small apartment she could afford and started working more hours at the dental office. Last I heard, she was dating someone she met through a friend, another college graduate who knows about wine and can handle himself at dinner parties. Good for her. Hope she appreciates having someone who meets her educational standards. I kept the house, the business, and my self-respect. Started dating Maria, who's a teacher at the local elementary school. She thinks it's impressive that I built a successful construction business and own my own house. She's never once suggested I need to be managed in social situations. The best part was running into Claire at the grocery store last month. She was buying generic brands and checking prices carefully, quite a change from her previous shopping habits. She saw me and started to come over, but I just nodded politely and continued shopping. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting people experience the natural consequences of their choices. Claire wanted to find someone more worthy of her superior education and refined social background. Now she gets to enjoy her educated lifestyle on her own income, while I enjoy my life with someone who doesn't think they're doing me a favor by being married to me. Turns out, when someone tells you they think they married down, the best response is to help them find their way back up without you.